all watched the sauna, as did I. It was well done. It was very commendable. My only disagreement came when it was time to ask questions, and there was a question about Namibia and North Korea, I think, and that Namibia is supplying them ammunition. This was one of the biggest blunders made, because in the sauna we spoke about the present, we spoke about the future, we spoke about engaging in foreign policy. But you can't have someone who is not even a competent leader, is not a competent leader, who lives in a country where they suppress people, and I mean suppress. They suppress them to the point where they cannot speak out. He had some of his uncle, or one of them, killed so that he could take the position. He's had plastic surgery to look more like his grandfather. And now his plan is to make a nuclear weapon so that he can be part of the so-called superpowers, while the superpowers are trying to get rid of the nuclear weapons. And he wants to say, if you come here and threaten us or do anything, then we are going to nuke you. This is very stupid. We all know how long it takes for radioactive material or radioactive places to finally get back to what they were. Secondly, this North Korean guy, he's facing sanctions, and he doesn't care because he has everything that he has, and he's using vulnerable nations that are stuck in the past, in order to assist them. The dream of North Korea one day getting some sort of independence and then going around saying thank you is over. This is 2016. That type of mindset is gone. North Korea is a danger to our foreign policy, because if you look at all of the significant countries that are against North Korea, then you will discover why Namibia is being avoided. Because Namibia is facilitating a global threat. Even China wants to put sanctions on North Korea because they don't trust them and they don't agree with their ideology. What North Korea wants to preserve is the so-called kingdom legacy, where you have Kim or whatever son or daughter, most probably son, become the next ruler. And this guy from North Korea, he is actually used as a method of execution by gunfire, the most primitive method of execution. And their so-called democratic election is something that should also give pause when speaking about them, because North Korea only have one person to vote for, which is that Kim guy. There are no other options. That's not a real democracy. That is not progress. It hinders investment, and we don't want that. In case, then we should start supplying ammunition to ISIL. It's done near the same thing. When the surrounding countries of that particular country don't want anything to do with it, what are we doing there? It's just wrong. And when it comes to one of the pressing questions, which is money, of course, I just want to state one thing. Politics. Every political party wants to prove that they can do a better job without giving alternatives. I haven't heard the alternatives. And then they blame everything on the leaders of the current party and so forth, and take no accountability for their own members. These political parties also have members. What do they get out of that membership? Almost nothing. The party leader that was there, when some of us were being used because some people thought we wanted to end up in parliament or something. At the moment, parliament is so corrupt, so corroded, and it's become a yes team kind of setting that I would be one of the people that will probably get kicked out. Not because I'll get angry or anything, but because facts, because of alternatives. Land clearing. If there is a Capitila. That Capitila has the bulldozer at the front and the crippling hook at the bottom. And that can be used to clear land. It's not such a big issue. And the thing is, when we have foreign architects who design proper homes, then the local contractors will be the one building, so no one loses out. You won't have a entrepreneur from China coming all the way from China with his own employees and then creating this animosity. That won't exist. This is not futuristic. This is how the world works. This is how development should be. And honestly, I hope that this gets through to competent people who understand that we are actually correcting mistakes of the past. We are not busy planning for the future. This is correcting the mistakes of the past and not looking towards the future. And I think things like the curriculum and our education system do need reform, because we need to start measuring kids based on their intellectual capability, so that they actually know which career they'll be able to do and they'll enjoy and so forth, as opposed to just throwing everything at them and having a bunch of bored children who fail grade 10, who fail grade 12. There's no fairness there. Why isn't there fairness? Because for one, most teachers don't want to be there. They are not engageful. So the learners don't want to be there. So it's a transformation of allowing our counselors, who basically do nothing at the moment, to actually be distributed to schools so that they can monitor not only the teachers but the learners. This will stop sexual abuse by the teachers on the small children. The whole promises of you will pass. I hope this is clear. The solutions are there. The problem is there, it's solvable. But the problem is not the budget, that's a lie. The problem is political will and accepting, okay, that particular person was right. So as such, I am making it an order within this year for that type of project to at least be on the planning phase. When the school restarts for kids, it will be revamped. An order. Because people don't listen when you dialogue unless you give them an order. And I know everybody who has something to lose. The so-called ministers and MPs who think that they'll be there till kingdom come anymore. The constitution was changed in a manner where if you don't fulfill your obligation, you will be fired. The constitution that people were complaining about was actually to their own benefit. So if we are to work together the Haramba way, then we have to acknowledge our problems together. Blaming it all on the president, oh it's the president, that becomes old. Puts pressure on the president, and then later on puts doubt. What has been accomplished? Nothing. So it's time to speak to the relevant people. It's time to engage the relevant people by going through the relevant systems. So this will continue. Yeah, man, I'm back.